Look, I need to tell you about the biggest financial scam in modern history. And the craziest part? It happened in broad daylight. Everyone saw it. Everyone ignored it. And billions of dollars just vanished into thin air. This is the story of Sam Bankman-Fried, a guy who went from being worth $26 billion to filing for bankruptcy in less than a week. A guy who was compared to Warren Buffett and JP Morgan. A guy who said he wanted to give away all his money to charity. And he did, except it wasn't his money, it was yours. This is the FTX collapse. And by the time we're done here, you're going to understand exactly how one dude with bad hair, playing video games in his shorts, convinced some of the smartest investors on the planet to give him billions of dollars, and then lose it all. Let's go. So first, who the hell is Sam Bankman-Fried? Everyone called him SBF, because apparently saying 3 letters is easier than his actual name. This guy looked like he just rolled out of bed. Messy hair, wrinkled t-shirts, always wore these cargo shorts. And here's the thing, he did it on purpose. The whole "I'm too smart to care about how I look" vibe. The investors ate it up. They thought he was a genius. Turns out he was just a really good liar. SBF started a company called Alameda Research. It was a crypto trading firm. Basically, they bought and sold cryptocurrency trying to make money off price differences. Then he started FTX, which was a crypto exchange. Think of it like a stock market, but for Bitcoin and all those other digital coins nobody really understands. Here's where it gets interesting. SBF owned both companies. Alameda was the hedge fund. FTX was the exchange. And they were supposed to be completely separate. You know, like how a casino owner shouldn't be allowed to play at their own tables with house money. That's the rule. That's how you keep things fair. But SBF didn't care about fair. He cared about money and power and looking like a hero while stealing from everyone. So here's what he did. FTX had customer money. Regular people. You. Me. Anyone who bought crypto on FTX. That money was supposed to sit there, safe in customer accounts. But SBF took that money and secretly lent it to Alameda, his other company, the hedge fund. And what did Alameda do with billions of dollars of customer money? They gambled with it. They bet on other cryptocurrencies. They tried to bail out other failing crypto companies. They bought real estate in the Bahamas. They spent it on whatever they wanted. And the collateral? The thing backing up these massive loans? FTX's own token. A coin called FTT. Imagine going to the bank, asking for $1 million loan. And when they ask what you're putting up as collateral, you hand them monopoly money that you printed. That's basically what happened here. Now, this whole scam could have gone on forever if one thing hadn't happened. The price of FTT needed to stay high, because if it crashed, the collateral was worthless. And if the collateral was worthless, Alameda couldn't pay back the loans. And if Alameda couldn't pay back the loans, FTX customers would realize their money was gone. This is where a guy named CZ comes in. CZ runs Binance, which is FTX's biggest competitor, another crypto exchange. In early November 2022, some documents leaked showing that Alameda's balance sheet was a disaster. They had billions in FTT tokens, the same token that FTX created. CZ saw this and realized what was happening. So he went on Twitter and said, "Yeah, we're selling all our FTT tokens." And when the biggest player in crypto says they're dumping a coin, everyone else panics and dumps it too. The price of FTT collapsed in hours. And suddenly, Alameda's collateral was worthless. The whole house of cards came crashing down. FTX customers started trying to withdraw their money, all at once. It's called a bank run, except there was no money to give them, because SBF had already lent it to Alameda. And Alameda had lost it gambling on bad crypto bets. Within 48 hours, FTX had an $8 billion hole in its balance sheet. $8 billion. Gone. Vanished. Stolen. People tried to pull their money out. They couldn't. The withdrawals were frozen. And that's when everyone realized this wasn't just a liquidity problem. This was fraud. Before we keep going, if you're learning something here, hit that subscribe button. We're Money Trap Channel, and every single week we break down the biggest financial disasters, scams, and money lessons that the mainstream media won't touch. This stuff is complicated, but we make it simple. Because understanding how people lose billions is how you avoid losing thousands. Alright, let's keep going. So SBF tried to find someone to bail him out. And at first, it looked like CZ and Binance might do it. They announced the deal to buy FTX. But then, they did their due diligence. They looked at the books. They saw the $8 billion hole. And they said, "Nah, we're out." That was it. Game over. FTX filed for bankruptcy on November 11th, 2022. And just like that, $32 billion in valuation disappeared. The company that was being compared to Goldman Sachs was dead. But here's the part that makes this even more insane. The investors. The people who gave SBF money. These weren't random dudes on Reddit. These were professionals, venture capital firms, billion-dollar funds. Sequoia Capital put in over $200 million. The Ontario Teachers' Pension Plan invested. So did SoftBank. How did these smart people get fooled? Simple. They wanted to believe. Crypto was hot. Everyone was making money. And SBF had this image. The nerdy genius who didn't care about money. The guy who said he was going to give it all away to charity. The modern-day Robin Hood. There's this article that Sequoia Capital published. It's been deleted now, but people saved screenshots. It reads like fan fiction. They described meeting SBF's co-worker, Caroline Ellison, who ran Alameda. The article called her a sultry wood nymph. I'm not making this up. Professional investors wrote this. They talked about how SBF was playing League of Legends during the investor pitch, a video game, while raising $1 billion. And instead of being concerned, the investors thought it was cool. They thought he was so smart that he could multitask like that. Then there was the meme round of funding. They raised $420.69 million from 69 investors. Get it? 420 and 69. The weed number and the sex number. And these grown adults with billions of dollars thought this was clever. This is who controls the money in the world, by the way. The red flags were everywhere, but nobody cared. Because everyone was making money. Or at least they thought they were making money. Until they weren't. Let's talk about what actually happened to the money. Where did $8 billion go? Some of it went to bad trades. Alameda was betting on crypto projects that crashed. When coins like Terra and Luna collapsed earlier in 2022, Alameda lost billions trying to bail them out. Some of it went to real estate. SBF and his crew bought luxury penthouses in the Bahamas. They lived like kings while gambling with customer funds. Some of it went to political donations. SBF was the second biggest donor to the Democratic Party in 2022. He gave over $40 million to politicians, and he wasn't doing it out of kindness. He was buying influence. He wanted favorable regulations for crypto. He wanted access. He wanted power. And some of it, nobody knows where it went. It just disappeared. Into the void. Into offshore accounts. Into someone's pocket. We might never get a full answer. The people who got hurt the most? Regular people, not the billionaire investors. They'll be fine. But the guy who put his savings into FTX, the person who believed the ads with Tom Brady and Steph Curry saying FTX was safe, those people lost everything. FTX marketed itself to regular folks. They encouraged people to deposit their paychecks directly into FTX accounts. They made it seem safe, legitimate, trustworthy, and it was all a lie. Now let's talk about the aftermath. SBF got arrested in the Bahamas in December 2022. He was extradited to the United States. He's facing multiple charges: fraud, money laundering, campaign finance violations. If convicted on everything, he's looking at over 100 years in prison. During the trial, all the details came out. Caroline Ellison, his ex-girlfriend and the CEO of Alameda, testified against him. She admitted they used customer funds. She admitted they lied to investors. She admitted the whole thing was a fraud from the beginning. SBF tried to play dumb. He said he didn't know. He said it was a mistake. He said he thought the money was there. But the evidence was overwhelming. Text messages, internal documents, testimony from his own employees. He knew. He knew the whole time. In November 2023, SBF was convicted on all counts. He's going to prison. But that doesn't bring the money back. Billions are gone. And most of those customers, they're never getting their money back. Maybe they'll get pennies on the dollar after years of bankruptcy proceedings. But their savings? Their investments? Gone. Here's the lesson. And this applies to way more than just crypto. When something seems too good to be true, it probably is. When someone promises you guaranteed returns, they're lying. When a company has no oversight, no regulation, no checks and balances, it's a disaster waiting to happen. FTX wasn't the first scam, and it won't be the last. Before FTX, there was Celsius, and Voyager, and Three Arrows Capital, and Terra Luna. The crypto space is filled with scams because there's no regulation. No one's watching. It's the Wild West, and regular people keep getting robbed. But here's what really gets me. The same thing happens in traditional finance too. Remember Bernie Madoff? He ran a Ponzi scheme for decades. He stole $65 billion. And he was a respected Wall Street guy. People trusted him. Until they didn't. The FTX collapse is a reminder. Your money is only as safe as the people holding it. And if those people are playing video games during investor meetings, dressing up as wood nymphs, and raising meme amounts of money, maybe, just maybe, you should keep your money somewhere else. SBF said he wanted to give everything away. And in a twisted way, he did. He gave away other people's money. He gave away their trust. He gave away any credibility crypto had left. And he gave away his freedom. Because now he's sitting in a prison cell, probably still wearing cargo shorts, wondering how it all went wrong. But he knows how it went wrong. He lied. He stole. He got caught. And that's the story of FTX, the biggest fraud in crypto history. A $32 billion company that collapsed in a week. Billions of dollars lost. Lives ruined. And one guy in the middle of it all who thought he was smarter than everyone else. He wasn't. Look, the rabbit hole goes even deeper. There are more stories like this, more scams, more disasters, more lessons about money, power, and greed that you need to understand. The video on your screen right now is going to blow your mind. Click it, watch it, because the more you understand how the game is rigged, the better chance you have of not getting played. And drop a comment. Tell me, do you think SBF deserves life in prison? Or is he just a scapegoat for a broken system? I read every single one.